What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. I swear, 4 dogs, 3 of them bark for no apparent reason, and 1 of them does not bark. Let's restart that, shall we? Or I guess maybe not. I swear guys, 4 dogs, 3 of them bark for no apparent reason, just at nothing, and 1 of them hides when they do bark. Let's restart that, shall we? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome to another episode of WWE's Biggest Issue. This week's episode is going to be a very interesting topic. Very interesting, because this episode is for those who watch NXT UK like I do, that streams every Thursday on Peacock, obviously here in the US, and of course the WWE Network elsewhere, outside the US. Big shout outs to both, no copyrights as always. We found out, supposedly, rumor has it that Ilya Dragunov, the NXT UK champion, has been dealing with an injury. Supposedly he has been walking on a boot, and rumor has it that he's apparently they want him to relinquish the title so he can get better. So if that is the case, if these rumors are true, what should happen next? What will the future hold for the NXT UK title? As you guys are well aware, aside from Ilya Dragunov, there have been 3 other champions. Tyler Bate being the first ever champion, Butch, or I guess Pete Dunne, being the second champion, and of course Gunther, or Walter, having the title for well over, what was it, 870 days, if I remember correctly? I gotta go back on my book. If I remember correctly, TakeOver 36, here we are. 870 days, yeah, I was right. 870 days as champion. As it sits right now, I believe Dragunov has held the title for 319 days. Like, right now, as it sits, if my memory serves correctly, let's see, hang on, guys. I believe 319 days, I believe, yeah. Yeah, it doesn't say. Yeah, it doesn't say. It doesn't say, but we know that, we do know that apparently he has been, he suffered an injury, and apparently he was forced to vacate the title. So we don't know how it happened or what happened. I'm sure we'll probably find out at some point this week, possibly on NXT UK. I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but I think honestly, here's the thing. We know that as far as like those who started their careers in WWE on NXT UK and then jumped ship over to NXT in the main roster, we know that that Ridge Holland, Butch, and Rhea Ripley and Toni Storm were the only ones of like a small group of people that started their careers in WWE over on NXT UK. Excuse me. And then jump shipped over to NXT, and then jump shipped over to the main roster. Toni Storm ended up getting released for certain reasons, and now we know that A-Kid has also made that transition, as has Jordan Devlin, or I guess J.D. McDonough, I believe is how it's pronounced, are both on NXT UK. As far as those that are able to compete and are not injured, we have Charlie Dempsey, Dave Mastiff, Eddie Dennis. We have Jack Stars. We have Kenny Williams, Mark Andrews, Mark Coffey, Noam Dar, Oliver Carter, Primate, Rohan Raja, Sam Gradwell, Saxon Huxley, Shaw Samuels, T-Bone, Tealman, Trent Seven, Wild Boar, and Wolfgang. And you notice that I didn't say Tyler Bate. That is because Tyler Bate, he's not injured. It's just that after what Trent Seven did to him a few weeks ago on NXT UK, basically turning his back on his student, if you will, his best friend. Tyler Bate said that he wanted to take some time off away from WWE to reflect on what transpired, if you will. And I think, honestly, we need to have ourselves an 8-man... we need to have ourselves a tournament. I think a tournament to crown a new champion. As far as who I think should be in it, if I were to pick 8 men who I wouldn't mind seeing in the tournament, going in alphabetical order as WWE.com has it, definitely Dempsey. Dempsey is one that I wouldn't mind seeing in the tournament. I swear, these dogs will never shut the fuck up. Definitely Kenny Williams, Tiger Turan is another dude I wouldn't mind seeing in the tournament. Tealman would be another one. Gradwell would be a dude that I wouldn't mind seeing in the tournament. Tyler Bate, maybe Tyler Bate could be in it, and then also Wolfgang. So these are the 8 men I would not mind seeing in the tournament. Charlie Dempsey, Kenny Williams, Tiger Turan, Tealman, Sam Gradwell, Trent Seven, Tyler Bate, and Wolfgang. Charlie Dempsey, because when you think about it, Dempsey is such an incredible talent. His work ethic is impressive. In fact, his first match on NXT UK, he actually won his match by submission. And I think a lot of his matches, since coming to NXT UK, he has won most of his matches by submission. And I think that alone could really become a factor going into this tournament, which could be interesting to say the very least. Kenny Williams, he's an odd dude. I'll give him that. He's trying to figure out who Tiger Turan is. He believes that Turan might be Amir Jordan, who is a dude that Kenny turned his back on last year, and the rule was it was going to be no disqualification. Amir Jordan versus Kenny Williams. Loser leaves NXT UK. Amir Jordan ended up leaving NXT UK, and Kenny Williams thinks that Turan is Amir Jordan, which I don't blame him for thinking that way. But as far as that being the case, it's a possibility. But people forget that Kenny Williams is so crafty. He's like NXT UK's version of Sami Zayn. Very crafty, very sneaky, but he is such a conspiracy theorist. That's all there is to it. Now Tiger Turan, since we're on the topic of Tiger Turan has been impressive as of late, and he could potentially become the dark horse in this tournament if he were to be in the tournament. Tio Man, probably one of the probably a wild card in this tournament if that were to be the case, because Tio Man, he's been impressive as of late, but now with Ashton Smith on sidelined with an injury, the rest of all of D Familia want Oliver Carter to join D Familia, which honestly I think would be I personally, in my personal opinion, I think that would be perfect for Oliver Carter to join Tio Man and the rest of D Familia, because that way when Ashton Smith comes back, he can turn his back on D Familia and rejoin Ashton Smith, which wouldn't be a bad idea. But as far as Tio Man being in this tournament, he could be a massive threat to everybody that would be in the tournament if he were to be in it, if you will. Now Sam Gradwell, he's had multiple opportunities at the title, never could reach that pinnacle. I think if he were to be in the tournament, it would be his time. Now Trent Seven, people forget that Trent Seven was actually in the first ever NXT UK Championship tournament back in 2017. I think he only made it past the second round, if I remember correctly. And I know that Tyler Bate had actually won that tournament, which was awesome. But Trent Seven becoming NXT UK champion, I think, would be rather interesting, but it will also be a dark day for NXT UK, especially with what Seven did to Tyler Bate several weeks back on NXT UK. So again, Trent Seven, he could be another dark horse in the tournament. Now, if Tyler Bate does return and he does get added to the tournament, this would and he would actually win the tournament, this would make it his second run as champion. Because people forget that because people forget that Tyler Bates' first run as champion lasted, I think, what was it, 139 days, if I remember correctly. So for him to have another run at the title would be interesting. It would be interesting, but it would be pretty cool to see. Now Wolfgang would be an interesting pick to be champion, because for the longest time he was, especially when he was a part of Gallus, even though he still is technically, he was more of a tag team person rather than a singles competitor. But with him, but with Joe Coffey, gone from NXT UK for a while, and with Mark Coffey and Wolfgang, going their separate ways, I think it's pretty safe to say that Wolfgang as NXT UK champion would be something that I would love to see. So let's say this was the tournament bracket. This was the tournament layout. Dempsey, Charlie Dempsey, Kenny Williams, Tiger Turan, Tio Man, Sam Gradwell, Trent Seven, Tyler Bate, and Wolfgang. Let's say that was the case. How should this happen? Let's start with Charlie Dempsey. Could he advance? Yes. So here's my take on it. As far as like who would be in the final four, I would say take Wolfgang out, have him get eliminated by Tio Man. Williams gets eliminated by Tiger Turan. And then Sam Gradwell gets eliminated. As does Tio Man. This now leaves 4. This would now leave 4. Dempsey, Turan, Seven, and Bate. Who should win the tournament? My personal opinion, I think Tyler Bate. The reason why I say this is because if Tyler Bate wins, he will be able to right the wrongs of his past, become champion, hold the title for longer than 139 days, drop the title to somebody, could literally be anybody, and then have him jump ship over to NXT in Orlando, Florida, stay there for a while, and then he jump ships over to the main roster, which I would not mind seeing. So again, my personal opinion, I think Tyler Bate should win the tournament. If they do host a tournament, which is a possibility, odds are they might do like a fatal 4-way match type of deal, similar to what they did with the NXT UK tag team titles, which is a possibility, but who knows? Who knows? But if Dragunov is injured, shoutouts to him. Best of luck on the surgery if he is having surgery. Best of luck in your speedy recovery, and we'll see what happens in the coming weeks. But that brings me to the question of the day. Who do you guys think should be the NXT UK champion? Let me know down in the comments below. And that will do it for this episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want to see more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue, which get posted every Monday, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you guys do not miss out on any new content that comes your way. And make sure you guys follow me on all of my social media. The links will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. If you guys want to send fan mail, the info will be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.